Once upon a time, deep in a cozy little burrow, there lived a small bunny named Benny. The moon was high and all his family was fast asleep. But little Benny was wide awake. Benny wiggled. Benny squirmed. He flopped one way and then the other. He fluffed his bed of soft hay. But no matter what he tried, sleep just would not come. So Benny hopped quietly across the burrow to where his mama lay. "Mama," he whispered, "I can't fall asleep." Mama smiled softly and opened one gentle eye. "Come here, my little one," she said. "Let's get sleepy together. First, take a slow, deep breath. Breathe in and let it go. Now wiggle your toes and let your whole body grow soft and heavy." Then Mama led Benny to the doorway of the burrow, where the night sky stretched wide and deep. "Look," she whispered, "the whole sky is full of little lights, just for you." Benny looked up at the twinkling stars. 1, 2, 3. He began to count, and with every star, his eyes grew just a little bit heavier. All around, the night was gently humming. Crickets chirped a soft, slow song. A cool breeze whispered through the grass, and far away an owl gave a sleepy hoot. Mama began to hum a quiet lullaby, the same one she had hummed since Benny was very small. The soft little tune floated through the burrow like a warm, cozy blanket. Benny snuggled down deep into his soft bed of hay. He pulled his cozy blanket right up to his chin. He sighed. "This feels so warm and so safe." A big yawn rose up inside him. His little nose twitched, his long ears drooped, and his eyelids grew heavier and heavier and heavier still. Benny thought of happy, peaceful things. A sunny green meadow, soft yellow flowers, floating dandelion seeds drifting on the breeze. Everything calm and quiet and slow. Mama tucked the blanket gently around him and gave him a soft kiss on the head. "Good night, my sweet Benny," she whispered. "I'm right here. Sleep well." And at last, little Benny felt calm and cozy and oh, so sleepy. The counting, the stars, the lullaby, the warm, soft bed, it had all carried him gently toward dreams. So Benny closed his eyes and drifted off into a deep, peaceful sleep, safe in his cozy little burrow under a sky full of stars. Good night, Benny. Sweet dreams, little one. The end. Once upon a time, at the edge of a whispering wood, there lived a little fox cub named Finn. He had soft red fur and a fluffy white-tipped tail. Finn lived in a cozy den with his mama, and more than anything, he loved to explore. One golden evening, Finn spotted a fluttering butterfly. He chased it, hop after hop, deeper and deeper into the trees, farther than he had ever gone before. But when the sun slipped away and the woods grew dark and quiet, Finn stopped and looked around. The trees all looked strange. He did not know which way was home. His little heart began to flutter. Finn sat down in the soft leaves and his ears drooped low. "I'm lost," he whispered, and his eyes filled with tears. The dark woods felt very big and very lonely. Just then, a gentle voice called softly from above. It was a wise old owl. "Don't be afraid, little one," she said. "You are not alone. I will help you find your way." "Look up," said the owl. "Do you see that big, bright star? That is the North Star. It always shines over your home. Just follow it, and you will never be truly lost." Then a kind deer stepped quietly from the trees. "Come, little fox," she said gently. "I will walk beside you through the dark." And so together they began the journey home. All at once, the woods began to twinkle. Hundreds of fireflies floated up and lit a soft, glowing path through the trees, leading Finn gently onward. With the star above, the deer beside him, and the fireflies all around, little Finn felt his fear melting away. He wasn't alone after all. He felt brave and warm and safe. They walked over a little stream, shining silver in the moonlight. And there, just ahead, Finn saw a tall, familiar old oak tree, the one that stood right beside his den. "I know this place," Finn cried, his tail wagging with joy. "I'm almost home." He hurried forward, his heart full of hope. And there, at the doorway of the den, stood Mama Fox, looking out into the night. "Finn," she called, her voice full of love. "There you are, my darling." Finn ran as fast as his little paws could carry him, straight into Mama's warm, soft arms. She wrapped him up close and nuzzled him. "You're safe now," she whispered. "You're home." Snuggled deep in the cozy den, with Mama close beside him, Finn closed his sleepy eyes. He felt thankful for the star, for his kind friends, and for home. Good night, little Finn. Sweet dreams. The end. Once upon a time, in a warm little cave at the foot of a mountain, there lived a small bear cub named Bruno. He lived with his mama, snug and safe, with a soft bed of leaves and a gently crackling fire. One evening, dark clouds rolled across the sky. The wind began to whoosh through the trees, and then a low rumble echoed through the forest. Boom! Bruno's ears shot up. A storm was coming. Suddenly, a bright flash of lightning lit up the cave. Crack went the thunder. Little Bruno yelped and dove under his blanket, trembling from his nose to his toes. But in an instant, Mama Bear was there. She scooped him up in her big, warm arms. "Don't be afraid, my little one," she said softly. "I'm right here. You are safe." "That loud sound is only the thunder," Mama explained. "It's just the clouds bumping together, saying hello a little too loudly. It looks and sounds big, but it cannot hurt you at all." So they snuggled down together beside the warm, glowing fire. The cave was cozy and dry, and Mama's fur was soft and warm. Little by little, Bruno's trembling began to slow. "Let's play a little game," said Mama. "When you see a flash, count slowly with me until you hear the rumble. 1, 2, 3, 4. The bigger the number," she said, "the farther away the storm is going." So they counted together. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then the next time, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. The numbers were growing bigger. The storm was drifting away. Soon, all that was left was the soft sound of rain, pitter-pattering gently on the leaves outside. It sounded like a quiet little lullaby just for Bruno. Snuggled deep in Mama's warm fur, Bruno felt his fear float away. The cave was safe, Mama was close, and the scary storm wasn't so scary after all. Slowly the thunder grew softer and softer until it was just a faraway whisper. The rain melted into a gentle hush, and a calm, peaceful quiet settled over the forest. Then, high above, the clouds began to part. One by one, the stars peeked out, twinkling in the clear night sky, as if to say, "The storm has passed." Mama tucked the soft blanket around her sleepy cub. "You see, my darling," she whispered, "no storm lasts forever. They always, always pass, and you are always safe with me." And so, warm and cozy and unafraid, little Bruno closed his eyes and drifted off into a deep and peaceful sleep as the gentle rain sang him to dreamland. Good night, little Bruno. Sweet dreams. The end. Once upon a time, in a snug little house beneath the roots of an old tree, there lived a tiny mouse named Millie. She had the softest grey fur and the biggest, roundest ears. But tonight, little Millie felt sad. "I'm so small," she sighed, curling up in her bed. Too small to matter, too small to do anything important at all. The whole wide world felt so very big, and Millie felt so very tiny. Now Mama Mouse heard her little one sigh. She crept close and wrapped her up in a warm, gentle hug. "What's the matter, my darling?" she asked softly. Millie sniffled. "I'm just too small, Mama." Mama smiled gently. "Come with me," she whispered. "I have something wonderful to show you." And she led Millie to the little round window. "Look up there," said Mama. "Do you see all those stars? Each one is so tiny, so very far away. And yet together, those little stars light up the whole wide night sky." Just then, a single firefly drifted by, glowing warm and golden. "See how small she is," said Mama. "And yet she carries her own little light through all the darkness. Small is not the same as unimportant." Then Mama pointed to a tiny acorn on the ground and to the great towering oak tree above them. "That mighty tree," she said, "was once a seed even smaller than you. The greatest things often start out very, very small." Millie's eyes grew wide. She had never thought of it that way before. The stars, the firefly, the little seed, all so small and yet all so wonderful. "And you, my Millie," said Mama, "you have the biggest, kindest heart of all. Do you remember when you shared your last crumb with your hungry little brother? That was not small at all. That was great." Millie thought about all the little things she did. A tiny hug, a gentle word, sharing and caring and being a good friend. Maybe, she thought, those little things mattered more than she knew. "Your little hug," said Mama, "fills up my whole heart, right to the very top. You may be small, my love, but to me, you are everything." A warm, happy feeling spread all through little Millie, from her tiny pink nose to the tip of her tail. For the first time, being small didn't feel sad at all. It felt rather wonderful. Mama tucked the soft blanket around her and kissed her gently on the head. "You are small," she whispered, "and you are mighty, and you are loved, more than all the stars in the sky." And so, with a heart full of warmth, little Millie closed her eyes and drifted off into a happy, peaceful sleep, dreaming of stars and fireflies and all the wonderful things that small things can do. Good night, little Millie. Sweet dreams. The end. High up in the branches of a tall eucalyptus tree, there lived a little koala named Kobe. He had the fuzziest ears and the softest grey fur. It was bedtime, and he was snuggled close to his mama. But tonight, little Kobe just couldn't sleep. Instead, he gazed up at the great big moon, glowing soft and silver in the sky. It looked so round and so close and so very beautiful. "I wish," he whispered, "that I could visit the moon." Mama Koala smiled and held him close. "Then close your eyes, my little one," she whispered softly. "Close your eyes, breathe slow, and let your dreams carry you all the way there." So Kobe snuggled in and gently closed his sleepy eyes. And just then, a soft and silver cloud came drifting down from the sky and lifted him up, ever so gently, like a feather. Up, up, up he floated, past the swaying treetops, high above the sleeping forest, drifting slowly into the deep and starry sky. Everything below grew small and quiet and calm. All around him, the stars began to twinkle and glow. They winked and they shimmered, and they smiled at the little koala, lighting up the night like 1,000 tiny candles. One friendly little star floated close. "Come along, little koala," it said with a giggle. "I will show you the way." And together they sailed softly through the sky toward the glowing moon. At last, the great moon welcomed him with a warm and gentle light. "Hello, little Kobe," said the moon in a voice as soft as a whisper. "I have been waiting for you." Together they floated over gentle hills of soft silver moon dust. It was the quietest, most peaceful place that Kobe had ever seen. Everything glowed with a calm and silvery light. "Let me tell you a little secret," said the moon. "The night is not for worry, and it is not for fear. The night is for resting and for dreaming and for growing big and strong." Kobe opened his mouth in a great big sleepy yawn. So the moon wrapped him up in a soft warm blanket, woven from threads of golden starlight, cozy from his nose to his toes. "Now it is time to drift home, little one," whispered the moon. "Sweet dreams." And gently, oh so gently, the soft silver cloud began to carry Kobe back down through the sky. Down, down, down he floated, past the twinkling stars, over the quiet forest, all the way back to his cozy branch, and into his mama's warm and waiting arms. Safe and warm and oh so sleepy, little Kobe snuggled in close, and with the moon watching over him, he drifted off into the deepest, sweetest sleep, dreaming of his journey among the stars. Good night, little Kobe. Sweet dreams. The end. At the edge of a soft green meadow, in a cozy little burrow, there lived a small hedgehog named Hugo. He had the softest brown spines and a tiny pointed nose. But little Hugo had no friends at all, and he felt very lonely. More than anything, Hugo wished for a friend, but whenever he thought about it, he felt worried. "I'm covered in prickly spines," he sighed. "If anyone comes too close, I might poke them by accident." And so Hugo stayed all by himself. He watched the other animals laugh and play together out in the meadow. He wanted to join them, oh so badly, but he was much too shy. Then, one golden evening, as the sun began to set, a gentle little rabbit came hopping along. She spotted Hugo sitting all alone, and she hopped right over to say hello. "Hello there," said the rabbit with a warm and friendly smile. "My name is Rosie. Would you like to come and play with me?" Hugo was so surprised, he hardly knew what to say. But I'm all prickly," said Hugo, looking down at his spines. "If you come too close, I might poke you. I don't want to hurt you." The little rabbit just smiled, ever so kindly. "That's quite all right," said Rosie gently. "You can be careful, and so will I. That's what friends do. They always find a way." And she reached out and gave Hugo's little paw a soft and gentle squeeze. So the two of them began to play. They rolled a plump red berry back and forth. They chased the twinkling fireflies, and they laughed and laughed under the big, bright, rising moon. Hugo had never, ever had so much fun in all his life. And the most wonderful thing of all, his prickly spines didn't matter one little bit to his kind new friend. Later, when they came to a dark and bubbling stream, Hugo felt a little bit afraid. But Rosie stayed right by his side. "Don't worry," she said. "I'm here." We'll cross it together." And so they did. "You know," said Rosie as they rested in the soft grass, "a true friend likes you just the way you are. Spines and prickles and all. You are wonderful, exactly as you are, Hugo." And right then, Hugo's little heart felt so warm and so full, it could nearly burst. He wasn't lonely anymore, not even a little. At long last, he had a real and true friend. As the moon climbed high into the starry sky, the two friends shared a great big yawn. "Good night, Hugo," said Rosie. "Let's play again tomorrow." And Hugo smiled. "I would like that very much," he said. Then Hugo curled up snug in his cozy burrow, warm and happy from the tip of his nose to the ends of his spines. And he drifted off to sleep, dreaming of his wonderful new friend. Good night, little Hugo. Sweet dreams. The end. Beside a calm and shimmering pond, there lived a little turtle named Toby. Every day, Toby would gaze up at the sky and watch the birds soaring high above. And every day he wished more than anything that he could fly too. "If only I had a pair of wings," he sighed, "I could float up high and touch the soft white clouds." But Toby was a turtle, and turtles of course cannot fly. So little Toby felt slow and sad. He tucked himself down into his shell and watched the birds dart and swoop far, far above his head. It made his little heart feel heavy. Just then, a kind little bluebird fluttered down and landed softly beside him. "Why so sad, little turtle?" she asked, tilting her head with a friendly, gentle smile. "I wish that I could fly way up high just like you," said Toby. The bluebird looked at him and her eyes sparkled. Then she smiled the warmest smile. "Come with me," she said. "I want to show you something." And so together they climbed up a gentle grassy hill. The bird hopped and Toby walked, slow and steady, one little step at a time, all the way to the very top. And oh, what a view it was! From the hilltop, Toby could see the whole wide world. The shining pond, the flowery meadow and the golden sun setting softly over the hills. It was beautiful. "You see, little Toby," said the bluebird, "you carry your cozy home upon your back wherever you go. You can swim through the water like a fish, and you notice every flower and every star that we busy birds fly right on past." Toby looked around, slowly and carefully, and for the very first time, he truly saw it all. The sparkling dewdrops, the glowing fireflies, the big round moon rising gently in the sky, beauty everywhere. "Everyone is special, in their very own way," said the bird softly. "You do not need a pair of wings, little Toby, to be something truly wonderful. You are wonderful, just as you are." And Toby smiled, a big, warm, happy smile. For the very first time in all his life, he felt glad and proud and happy to be exactly who he was, a little turtle. As the night drew near, Toby thanked his kind new friend. Then he set off for home, slow and steady and oh so content, beneath the first twinkling stars of the evening. Snuggled down, safe and warm inside his cozy shell, Toby closed his sleepy eyes. And that night, he had the most wonderful dream of all. For in his dreams, little Toby could fly. Up, up he soared, over the clouds and the moonbeams, gliding happy and free through the starry sky. And he smiled in his sleep, dreaming the sweetest, most magical dream. Good night, little Toby. Sweet dreams. The end.